ready to blow. We getting ready to, so ready to, oh so ready to.
I'ma go get it.
We getting ready to.
I'ma go get it.
We getting ready to.
I'ma go get it.
We getting ready to, so ready to, oh so ready to.
We ready for jump ball, center court now, standing tall now, hold the fort down. This is showtime, more than sports now, more than crunch time. We rush like fourth down.
I be taking wins, we don't mess with laws. I be taking wins, we don't mess with laws. I be taking wins, we don't mess with laws. I be taking wins, we don't mess with laws. We been on that paper chasing all that fashion. We been on that paper chasing what you ration.
Been in the grind now, we ready for prime time, ready for shine now. We ready to get smile. On the rise, all eyes up on us now. Blast off spaceships till the touchdown.
Energy level on high, put that trouble on fire. Double it down, I'ma spit it around. Click, clack, boom, we the best in town. Energy level on high, put that trouble on fire. Double it down, I'ma spit it around. Click, clack, boom, we the best in town. I started off the lowest point in life, though. I started off the lowest point in life, though. I started off the lowest point in life, though. I started off the lowest point in life, though. I started off the lowest point in life, though.
We getting ready to, so ready to, oh so ready to blow.
Yo, we getting so ready to blow. Yo, pro, quo, now you know. Yo, let me switch up this thing right here. Yo, check. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. The crew is called BDP. And if you want to go to the tip top, watch the violence in hip hop. Not watch the violence. You want to stop the violence. So I just realized that I had this shared to only me. So that's pretty cool. So if you're watching on Facebook, I don't know how you were doing it because I had it shared to only me. So right now we're going to see people streaming. They're going to be going through. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, is that pro? Is that pro? Pro looking little colorful here. We got the Eagles shirt on. I got my ProQuo hat with the ProQuo logos. Yo. So yeah, let's jump into it. It's gonna be a short show. Maybe do a little premiere, a little exclusive, and then talk about a couple things and then hop on out. So I've been having trouble getting here for 9:00. So lots of stuff going on in the pro quo world, lots of stuff going on in the pro household as well. So most notably, new puppy in the fam. I should probably show the videos of the new puppy, just to keep the views up. But for real, the puppy has been taking up a lot of time. Anybody who has a puppy, you probably know, right? If you got a puppy, you know what I'm dealing with right now. So let me talk about the proud dad moment here, but also in the context of mental health and well-being and wellness, right? Which is such a big thing in education these days. And for good reason. It's the grand exodus from higher education, from K-12, actually from many jobs that are high stress. COVID kicked that into high gear. People started reassessing and saying, yo, do I really need to be here right now for this kind of salary or whatnot? People start looking for those. See how I'm matching up the hat with the logo right there? Boom. People start reassessing the life and trying to figure out ways that they can have more flexibility, get the side hustles on, whatever you got to do, right? So shout outs to all the people doing that, making these career switches. I was actually thinking about on the show live doing job searches for people, like talking about people like, yo, can't find a job. And I'm like, bro, there's mad jobs out there. Like you can definitely find a job. You might not be getting the interview, You might not be getting your resume accepted or stuff like that, which I understand. That's a whole different ball game, baby. But the jobs are out there. So I just wonder how people are searching. So here's the thing: the proud dad moment, right? But also in the wellness thing. My son is doing taekwondo. Just started baseball. He's in triple A. It's like minor league, little league, right? For the young kids. Um, and they're so cute, but it's the first year where they actually have to pitch. And my son's been pitching. So it's been adventure. I didn't think he would volunteer to pitch. After the first game, he did. They gave him a little practice. Next day, they had him out on the mound, made a little video for him. Little highlights. First strikeout, first recorded out as a team with him pitching, first assist that he made on a putout where he flashed the leather. It was kind of, it was really great. It was a great thing as a dad to see. And then, but the thing is, so for those of you who got kids, or maybe it's just you that you're busy, because we're all busy, right? Think about it like this. My son is, man, he's 9, right? He's working already on a second-degree black belt. It's coming up on it. He's going to get his new stripe, assuming he passes the test coming up. And they only have 2 more. And then he's black belt testing again. But he's also playing baseball and he likes it. So he's playing baseball. They got practice on Monday, Thursday. Thursday's sort of optional, but they've been doing like extra hitting and batting. But with this rain that we got from the hurricane coming up, making its way up the coast, we don't not have to worry about baseball for a while. And that's actually a good thing because he's got sparring practice, which you have to do for your second degree black belt on Saturdays at the same time some of these games have been. So, and it's like he's doing his schoolwork and getting a little bit of homework now. And then he started playing an instrument. He's so excited about that. And it's like, these kids are busier than adults. It's like, I don't never want to be that parent, right? Who's got the kid running off to do a million things and packing their whole day. But they people, they got little personalities and interests and, they're trying to do what they do. And so I relate. And I know a lot of y'all relate. Because we all trying to make that music. And speaking of which, I'm actually trying to, I'm going to show you right now. We're going to do a little premiere. I'm actually trying to do a post on Facebook. So I'm going to show you while I get ready to do that post. So I'm going to go to share here and I'm going to go to Bars of Death. Shout out to Bars of Death. Tonight, East Coast time, even though they're in Canada. So, I'm going to go Bars of Death and I'm going to post a video. I made a little thing, got ready for them today. Today's the last day of the month, so I just got it in. And I am, my thing is crashing. I made a bad decision. My thing crashes and that might crash us. So if I crash, I'm going to have to jump right back in the booth if that's the case. Because I keep forgetting that Chrome is not responding. So we might cancel here. I'll jump right back on if it does, but we'll see what happens. Now we're still good. So you see that I'm trying to share this, right? So let me see if I can do it a different way. I'm trying to share this new little video I made, and I only got so many minutes here. So I'm trying to get on. I'm going to play it for y'all. It's a dope beat. And we're going to try to share it. Let me see if I could figure out how I could share it. I think if I go over to here, it says I got 2 windows open. So if I try to add, man, I'm still getting the same problem. It won't let me share right now from that window. That's because it's in. So Google right now is the culprit. I don't know if y'all get those issues that I've been getting a lot lately. Google Chrome just not letting you attach anything. Is it just me? Maybe it's just me. And then it like shuts down your whole thing. So anyways, we're going to try to do it with Firefox. See if we can do it that way. Looks like I might be able to do it that way. We're going to try. See if I can share this for you. Let's see. Share screen. Let's see. It wants Chrome tabs. Let me do Bars of Death this way. Bang. I think we might have the workaround. So we're going to do Bars of Death. Trying to post this in real time Photos and video. It's doing it over here too. Man. Are y'all gonna make me go to the Microsoft product? Gotta make, maybe my Microsoft window will work. We're gonna be out of options in a second. Let's try. Let's see if we can do it. We don't want to restore. I know this is riveting, but let's go. We'll get into the riveting in a second. Share screen, window. Gonna have to open that, stick it down, and then I know I'm talking about. There we go. Finally, let me access the new tab. All right. So I can do Facebook. Bam, bam. It's the only way we're gonna get this is through Facebook. Anthony, what's up, man? It's been a minute. Can we create a post this way? Yes, it let us. All right. So I am sharing. You guys should be seeing, I'm sharing an actual video. So, bars of death, verse of the month. And they got some other hashtag for verse of the month for verse of the month. I don't know what it is. Except, let me check. I'm going to check it in another window. And we on our way now. You know. VOT, verse of the month, September. All right, so the full thing. Riveting, I know, but we getting you there. Verse of the month, September. Let's throw a Professor Lyrical in there. His beat is dope. Gotta shout out King James. Not that King James, but producer King James. Hectic. Better late than never, they say. Boom. Bro. All right. I post that. And then I'll play it for y'all. So it'll be a premiere. They won't even be knowing that it's over there. See, thanks for sharing your posts and answers with the admin. I gotta wait for that thing to probably even go live. How do we new activity? See, somebody just posted some bars. All right, so that was cash bars. I did verse of the month. So there's some people posting their verse of the month. Let's see if you guys can let's hear some. Let's hear some of the submissions. Let's promote some bars of death right now. We're gonna go and make sure that I got the sound going because I'm not sure. All right, so we're gonna what you're checking out is Bars of Death. It's an MC board, and they do beats by different producers. And verse of the month, MCs just submit their verse in hopes to be verse of the month. So I'm gonna share over to there for a second, put the sound in there, and see if we can get you some Bars of Death. All right. So I'll give you an idea. This Timmy Tims, he's kind of dope. He's always very passionate. Let's go. Okay. Timmy. Who? What? Mm. 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 Speed's fire though. Uh. Uh. Who? Uh-huh. What? Uh. Mm. 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 Ho-ho. My goodness. Indeed, rest in power, Pat Stay. Yo. So right there you have it. That's some Timmy Tims right there. That's what bars of the month is verse of the month is all about right there. So that's what the MCs do. So I just did my submission. Um Timmy, man, when he spits, he really spits. He's coming like whoosh. You get that full up close and personal spray, you know what I mean? Uh what up? What up, Fee? What up, Fee? Uh yeah. Riveting, yes. It was definitely riveting. You're gonna play Dive in It? No, I'm not gonna play anything that shuts the show streams off. I've been looking at all the analytics, and it's not encouraging. I get all these messages when I play anything copywritten, even my own. Even though I complained about everything that's on my stream feed, that's me. It's just a bot you're talking to. So I'm trying to let Facebook know, like, yo, it's my music. Like, I'm good. You know, I own the copyright kind of thing. um, so yeah, so trying to work on that. But I am going to play the new joint that I did over their thing. So I'm going to give you the video. I was kind of waiting for them to post it. My video is ready to view. Let's see. All right. There's some pro. All right. So y'all going to get the world premiere of this King James beat. But I'm going to make y'all wait for it. We got the King James beat premiere. Let me type that in. King James beat premiere. I forget what the beat's called, but it's dope. And I really rap on verse over. So the rules are you have to stick to under 2 minutes, basically. So I decided to throw a hook on there too. That's why I really only do one verse, as I do the hook at the beginning and the end, and I like it. If I really produce the joint, which I'll probably do after the submission, because you can't really be doing like super gloss kind of stuff. You're really just spitting the verse kind of deal. You're not supposed to be like altering the beat and doing drops and all those kind of things. So as you can tell, it's people just rapping. Some people do like a little more glossier videos and stuff. So I'm gonna check mine out in a minute. One thing I was talking about with Fee today, and I posted on my Facebook, I posted on my Instagram. I was posting about the Kodak Black positive situation, if you will. There's a lot of people talking about, what does go, and it's a worthy conversation of what goes wrong in hip hop. And what we want to do is talk about some of the things that go right. So Kodak Black has spent what looks to me like $50K a couple times. Let me just type this here. Discussing music and playing joints live. Okay. Put that in. All right. Getting a lot of text and stuff here. Let me just address these here. And we don't do Instagram, so that's the only thing we're not on. Don't know what people are sending me, but yeah. So just wanted to, if you haven't heard the news about Kodak Black, let me share that with you. So we're going to share that through my regular Facebook. Actually, let me do it here. Let me do the Google search for it. Here we go. So Kodak Black pays rent for 28 families facing eviction. It's kind of a random number, right? So Kodak Black is giving back to dozens of families in his native South Florida as the Pompano Beach rapper announced on Tuesday that he's paid rent for 20 years and he's facing eviction. Goes on to say he paid not only for a month, he paid like all the way through the year. So they're good for those artists that excuse me, for those people that applies to. So that's kind of dope. Dude paid the rent. Now, a lot of people are like real critical. They're like, oh yeah, it's just a promo or whatever. My thing is, who cares? And what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like people with the glass houses, bro, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's like dude gave 50 grand. He could have gave 50 grand anywhere. He could have gave it to Spotify, could have gave it to YouTube, but he's like, nah, let me do this and I'll probably get that reward back in promo, right? I'm sure that was part of it. I'm sure it was like maybe he didn't even think of it. I don't know, maybe he did. I'm not sure. You can tell in some of his lyrics that he's thinking about staying focused and having his mind on his money. Sometimes this stuff is just ridiculously kind of silly and just blah, blah, blah. And I get it. But other times you can hear some moments of clarity in his lyrics. And so I think he's definitely thinking about these kind of things. So he also sent $50,000 in water to Haiti, almost back to back kind of news stories. And it was 50 grand, So if you do the math and you're thinking about where people live, where he was sending that money, 28 people, it's reasonable to assume that that was rent for people that couldn't afford it. It would obviously be lower rent, right? So assuming, right, that people would be lower rent. So if you think, people got $1,000, $1,500 a month, $1,800 a month, whatever, and you multiply by 28, you're going to come pretty close to the 50,000. Or if it's even much lower, if it's in the high hundreds or something like that, then that's why you could pay for multiple months for some of those people too. So I think that's a crazy gesture. The dude is paying people's rent like that and doing the water deal, which is also crazy. And I'm always curious what people have to say about that, because I'll see people be like, yeah, it's just promo. And it's like, bro, everything we do in the world, like, get over yourself. Everything we do in the world, no matter how good you feel about yourself, is self-centered. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's self-centered at the end of the day because you do things for reward and to avoid punishment. There's no action that you take. When you come to that conclusion at some point, I think you live life more free, right? It's like you do something for reward or you do something for lack of penalty, or maybe you just try to do things randomly. But it's like, I don't sit around and do premeditated stuff. I'm not saying like when I do something good, it's like premeditated because I'm looking for the reward. The reward is intrinsic. You feel good when you do it. So it's like, it makes me feel good to do what I think is the right thing. So it sets me at ease. Maybe it gives me some kind of dopamine effect or whatever. But I know that if I see someone struggling and I can help them, I feel better about it, right? I might feel initially weird, like even having the initial discussion or whatnot, but after you do it, it makes you feel good. So you're going to continue doing it. You wouldn't do it if it didn't make you feel good on some level. We try to think of examples when we do stuff, and it's like sometimes we do the right thing, even though we know that it wasn't going to make us feel good. Like, yo, I'm going to, risk bodily injury to save this person over here, right? Or I know guaranteed certain injury to save this person over here, a stranger, total stranger sometimes, right? And it's that doing of the right thing that's motivating you to do it, because it's your pathways are already set in your brain as the reward system's already in place that, yo, I just know I need to do the right thing, right? So it's deep, but I say, yo, if you have a bunch of options you can do, and one of them is to do promo on some random YouTube video, or you can pay people's rent, I'm saying it's brilliant. I'm saying kudos, applaud to you. And the reward should come. We should reward those things that we want to see more of. Like, do we think it's a good thing that someone's rent is getting paid who couldn't afford it and was going to face eviction? I don't know about you, but I think that's probably a pretty good thing, right? You'll have naysayers being like, yeah, these people couldn't pay their rent. They probably deserved it, and it's like, all right, save all that. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about, is it a good thing to do on his issue? Is it a good stance to take? I would say it is, right? All right, so I'm going to play you this joint. I think I call it On Our Way. This is the submission I just made for Verse of the Month. Hey, if you want to vote Verse of the Month, go over there, check it out. It's on Bars of Death. It's a Canadian outfit. Shout out to our people at Bars of Death. And again, like, trying to help out some of the people over there, because I know they've been going through some personal tough times. We could maybe talk more about that later. I don't want to put everybody's personal business out there, but it's just like, they're good people, and they're going through some times too. So let's see what we can share here. So bang. All right. So this is the premiere of my little video submission for the same beat, and I do a little hook on it. So this is it.
We're on our way. You know just how we do. We on our way now, on our way now. And we're on our way now. You know just how we do. We on our way now, on our way now. Fiending for that Fetty Wap, scheming on that steady guap, repping how the chef is. Curry on that Betty Crock, bumping from back away, pumping for that broccoli, frontin' in that Chevy dropping out some guapole. Not a lot to say on that Thomas Petty talk, but how they leave a free falling from that heavy clock. Them flamethrowers wanna show us how they walk a flock. Until that G check, watching them get G shock, making a big splash, fall flat, belly flop, hoping to re up again, still no Machiavelli pop. Won't stop at the cherry pop to the very last drop, I can barely drop my kung fu rip on the mic, won't slip, so when I'm in the rhythm, I'm a Chevy chop. Stop, only substance on my plate, no decent cherry pop. No aftertaste, it's a steady pace of hip hop. Back, I'm already rock, my master ace of the taste of the forgotten. Tony Mac in the purse on the back of the limo when I hit him with the beatbox. Come on now. And we on our way. You know just how we do. We on our way now, on our way now. And we on our way now. You know just how we do. We on our way now, on our way now. And we on our way now. You know just how pro do. We on our way now, on our way now. Told you.
And there it is. There it is, folks. I went through a little bit of effort there to make that. Hope you appreciate the graphic. Made the graphic show up like on my face. You know what I mean? Did a little bit of editing for that one. Wanted to come out all right. And yeah, OG Verbs, man, that's my people right there. Absolutely. Doing my live stream.
On our way now, on our way now, and we're on our way now. You know just how we do. We on our way now, on our way now. Fiending for that Fetty Wap, scheming on that steady guap, repping how the chef is Stephen Curry on that Betty Crock, bumping from a block away, pumping for that broccoli, frontin' in that Chevy drop, pumping out some guapole. Not a lot to say on that Thomas Petty talk, but how they leave a free falling from that heavy clock. Them flamethrowers wanna show us how they walk a flock. Until that G check, watching them get G shock, making a big splash, fall flat, belly flop, hoping to re up again, still no Machiavelli pop. Won't stop at the cherry pop to the very last drop, I can barely drop my kung fu rip on the mic, won't slip, so when I'm in the rhythm, I'm a Chevy chop. Stop, only substance on my plate, no taste in cherry pop. No aftertaste, it's a steady pace of hip hop. Back, I'm already rock, my master ace of the taste of the Freddy Fox. Tony Mac in the purse on the back of the limo when I hit him with the beatbox. Come on now. And we on our way. You know just how we do. We on our way now, on our way now. And we on our way now. You know just how we do. We on our way now, on our way now. And we on our way now. You know just how pro do. We on our way now, on our way now. Told you.
Yeah. So that was that. So appreciate y'all checking that out. Let me jump out of this.
We getting ready
Oops. Watching my own show feedback there. Let me see this. Let me hit refresh. What up? Shout out to OG Verge, man. That's my dude. Dope rapper. Timmy Tim's was nice. Let's see Mac Hazen Wheeler. He's pretty nice. Let's see what's up with this dude.
Yo,
He's
it's
doing
Baby
cash
Chef
bars.
Jesus. It's been a while, Bars of Death.
I
How you doing?
don't know if he's doing the cash bars or let me see.
Easing my way.
Nah.
That died.
I mean, not that I don't want to check out the verse or what he's saying. I do, but all right, let's check out this dude. He kind of looks like Timmy Tim's with a fuller beard. All right, let's check this dude out. Let's see how this is.
Death. It be them one, them call. Big Doves. Green Tree Records representer. Shout out Moss Band. Beast Mode. Green Tree. All that shit.
Wow, they hitting it up right as the verse starts.
I'm immortalized by those who know and quote my lines. I've done this all my life. You can tell by the way that I hold the mic. My soul's designed to open fire, so send your regards. They hold me higher. They'll scribe stories of my life like I'm Mordecai. Don't need to go overtime to show you who the goat is. Post his head outside my door with a note that says more will die. Close your eyes. Time waits for no man, so pray to your omens and all the gods. They all going whether you a poor man or an oligarch. Thoughts are polarized and foreign. It's odd knowing I'm hot, but I'm cold as ice. The Neapolitan Dolomite. I give no advice to the all-knowing type. I just tell them roll the dice. And to no surprise, they just roll their eyes. Moss Band mobilized, kicking it like Cobra Kai. Y'all don't want to go to war with us, cause every fall we ride, another one of their soldiers die. Most won't survive, so don't even try to hold the line. I'm here to make sure y'all resign. God damn.
Okay.
It's over. Next month, we going Moss Band style on this shit. Y'all done.
All right. I think he was feeling that, so that's all that matters. He submitted. If you watching, you probably didn't submit. So you know what I mean? Don't be saying anything. Don't be all funny. All right, what else we got here? Oh, my Masquerade wave file just downloaded. We sending that into the orchard as we speak. Trying to get that out for Halloween. You get it? Masquerade, mask. Yeah. Let's see if anyone else has a submission here. Verse of the month. Trying to sneak my verse under the wire. All right. Yeah, I had to do it that way too. Ran out of time.
Make beats. This beat's awesome.
This beat
I'm
is
the
awesome.
POE.
You're the POE. I don't know what that means.
And this is my story. I want to be famous.
Poet.
I want everybody to know what my name is. For
Okay.
15 minutes, I don't want to be faceless.
Don't be.
I'm gonna use my rhyme inventory. It's as deep as a quarry to tell the story of a boy in his euphoria, in his glory, up on top of the world until he took a look down and he wanted to hurl. And he was not afraid of heights, saw his name in lights, and he knows it's all because the shit he recites incites riots and ignites fires and excites just the right amount of polite liars to change their style and cross back the wires back to the I don't give a fuck we all pretend to admire. Made him sick. He changed these kids into little itty bitty baby versions of him. Now he's learned it's grim. His candle burned and dim because he never wanted anyone to be like him. Cause he's got nothing left to give out but benefit of the doubt, and he's just about out.
Who is he?
Everybody does their best to fake it, not realizing that's what their mistake is. I keep it real and they'll always fail because I write shit people feel like Braille. Everybody does their best to fake it, not realizing that's what their mistake is. I keep it real and they'll always fail because I write shit people feel.
I feel it. I feel you. You know, let me do this. I don't like critique people when they're not around, but because I don't mean it to sound negative at all. In fact, it's quite the contrary. I think the dude has skills. Let me say this though. Kind of like URLs, right? If you're looking for a URL, you can't use like one words, right? They're pretty much all taken. Like if you want to use like barber shop, that's going to be gone too. Anything that's a compound word, or you out of luck, right? If you didn't wrap that up when it was time, you out of luck. So any one word like kind of thing is done. You know, like I heard the other dudes said kicking like Cobra Kai. You know what I'm saying? And whenever if you think it's like a really dope punchline or whatever, you probably have to do something else to it. You know, now we all sometimes, self-included, you sometimes just need a bar, or you need a piece of a bar, and sometimes you'll say something that isn't as hot as your one before. But homie had a different kind of flow, which I kind of liked. And then he did something on that Something that was like, what's the line he said right over here? Let's try it again.
I keep it real and they'll always fail
Oh yeah, the Braille line.
because I write shit people feel like Braille.
Yeah, it's like feel like Braille. Even if you haven't heard it, you got to assume that that's been said like millions of times, right? So unless you're putting it in a unique spot or you're saying it in a different way, you probably are going to have to say it in a different way, right? You can't just say feel like Braille. It might be somebody feels it like Braille, but just know that that's the kind of thing that like real skilled people of the craft are just going to be like, nah, man, you got to, come 1 degree higher, and that's the thing that'll separate someone from someone else, so it's those little kind of things too. But I could do that to my own verse, and by the way, I didn't write a brand new verse. That was a verse that I've said before, or I never really said in any kind of substantive kind of thing. But I said, them come fiending for that fetty wop, scheming on that steady guap, repping how they chefing. And I say a Steph Curry kind of line, which I've heard a lot of people say Steph Curry lines, but I say it in a different way. So I'm not saying I'm like Chef Curry, or Steph Curry. I'm doing the Chef Steph thing, but I'm like, them come fiending for that fetty wop, scheming on that steady guap, repping how they chefing on that step. It's like, it's not as simple because there's multiple layers of syllabics in there and stuff like that to also have you go, oh wow, okay, so it's something in there that you're going to take away from it. I would think like just a touch more than just coming totally straight with it. You know what I mean? So that would be my thing. As I would say for like positive criticism or stuff to do. Let me check them out again here. Show you the line I mean.
Repping how they chef is Stephen Curry on that Betty Crock.
Repping how they chef and Stephen Curry on that Betty Crock. You know what I mean? It's like, even just to say on that Betty Crock, I'm talking about cooking on the stove kind of thing, right? Repping how they chef and Stephen Curry on that Betty Crock. It's just, if you're going to do it, say it differently or say it in a different way, right? Also, one other thing too that I kind of give bonus points for as well. I know some people do the edited After Effects, which I did on this video. And some people just did it live. That dude just went in live. He was just like, yo, he just said his thing. He hit the bong and he kept going, right? So it's kind of hard to do that. Mine, I would have people say, oh yeah, you did your voice and your chorus. No, I actually did it in that take. Like, that's exactly how I did it. I said the chorus, I said the verse, I said the little ad libs all on one track and just did it live. You know what I'm saying? So that's actually how I recorded it. So I have a little effect on there, but that's it. There's no edits. You know what I'm saying? So that was straight through. So when you see someone do that live too, you got to give it up for that too. It's like, yo, they doing the hook and the little ad libs and the thing, and they're not, bringing in the multiple layers or whatever. It's different styles to it and there's different things. So I'm not trying to play critic. I'm just trying to give some pointers that I think can separate one thing from another. Let's see if we got another verse in here. Full beat drop Saturday. Shout out to Jason. They got all kinds of stuff popping on this board. And that was the beat right there. So if you're interested, you and MC, get on this board, go on their thing when they do verse of the month, and you just click the link and they have the downloads on there. Well, not the download. They have like the YouTube video and you can download it yourself. All right, this dude is doing one. It says Dylan Ref Waters. And my bad for not knowing who all some of these people are. I haven't been on the board in a while. So let's see this. And let me like that last verse too, because I did like Homie's verse. What's his name again? James Owen Brown. Okay, dope. King James, 16 bar minimum to 2 minute max. Record directly to your cell phone. Absolutely no altering the beat. Upload directly to the Bars of Death thing. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, don't be doing drops and stuff like that and produce the joint. Just rap, basically. All right, let's hear, dude.
Right here. MC business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
I said, hey, come from below, you would never from above. But shit, I already won, so fuck if they show me love, huh? I've been on grind so long, it's heavy metal work. All these cartoon dudes do belong in the metaverse. Fuck them, catch a nice
Ooh,
fade,
I like
have
that.
a nice day. You love life in a cage.
All
My
these
mind's
cartoon
bringing the ice
dudes
age,
do
vegetables,
belong in the
unpossessable.
metaverse.
The shit
That was
that I'm
nice.
bringing impeccable. They skulls look like toys from McDonald's and shit's collectible.
Okay.
Pull back and let it go like Robin Hood flavor. Hit the
Uh.
bullseye, made a massive list. Killing crater forever, been feeling grateful like a
Kinda
spit
nice
some
here.
must. The new king of town since that old mothball bit of dust stood in the void. Sleep on my flowers, you about to get really annoyed. You thought it was soft and cushy on, but now you've been feeling the thorns. Well, I don't have a damn ounce of jealousy inside me. I love to see you win too, I can handle it like Kyrie. And I hit a big tray like Trey Young right before the game's done. To win, you gotta know how to lose too, when you ain't the one. I'm caking up till I'm like Jay up in the cut. My name, keep it a buck. I've been patient as fuck, put my life on it. Got a jack and aces facing up. Greatness running through my blood, a double helix. The fucking realest popping till I own the whole spot. Fuck your G-list. And I see you haters went and made your beds, now go and sleep in them. Yeah.
Kind of nice.
And
there.
one other thing. Pray for peace, but be your mother effing warrior.
All right. Yeah, that was kind of dope. I like that. What was his name again? Dylan Ref Waters. Vermont by Reflections. Dylan Ref Waters, new single dropping him on Spotify. There you go. I should have put all that too. I didn't even do all that. Oh, I did flash it in the video. You know what I'm saying? But dope. Oh man, Nate. Shout out to you. What you saying? You just hearting the video. Okay, cool. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. My man Timmy Timms. Absolutely. Timmy Timms is a monster. I love his aggression on the beat, man. He's killing it. See if there's anybody else on there. People reacting to my video. Cool. Appreciate it. I'm hoping we get some other MCs bringing in last minute, man. Some of the real talent. I know people rushing to get them in there. Yeah, man. Shout out to you, Nate. I don't know if you're watching on my page or whatever, but that's what we doing. We watching you watching me. And we on our way now. You know just how we do. We on our way now, on our way now. And I couldn't see the weird way I say the rap is dem come fiending for that, but because it's all on the same track, I couldn't say dem come fiending. I just had to come with fiending. And they know just how we do. We on our way now, on our way now, fiending for that. You know what I'm saying? Just had to come right in. But I gotta do it as a real song, and maybe I'll do the real intro with the overlap and all that stuff. You know, kind of like that. I have to holler at home. You'd be like, "Yo, you want to put this joint out? You want to put this joint out with me? I'll put the joint out with you, my man." Who made that beat, man? I don't know you, King James. You sound dope. I think I've seen your name on there before, and I think I heard one of the other beats, and I think it was really dope too. So let's do a joint, man. I'll do a joint with that. We'll do something for real on that. On our way now, on our way now, my man Nate. We know how pro do. Yeah. Indeed. We live, talking about live. Man, I should go live and promote their board all the time. Yeah, man. So that's about it. I got so much business stuff to do. Every day's been a grind, massive amounts of projects, which is good. It's good. It's just like we were talking about earlier, that whole mental health kind of thing. I got a joint out right now. It's called Dive In It. If you haven't heard, there's a little mini video, self-made video on my Facebook and my Instagram page. No official video out for that yet, but Quo and I put a lot of work into that album, and that single is out on radio now. Shout out to my man Edition, who's helping me work that to radio. Getting lots of love so far. We also got the joint out with Fee, the Back in the Days joint. Also got a joint out called for a movie called Montreal Girls. So anybody from the Bars of Death board, you might be interested in that too, because shouting out Montreal. And actually a radio station in Montreal just picked up the Dive In It today and started running that into their rotation. And it plays anytime from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. every day of the week up on that station. I forget the name of the station. I can probably look it up while I'm sitting here and figure it out. Shout it out to my peoples who are playing that. And yeah, so that track, the one in the movie, if you haven't heard me talk about it before, is the movie is called Montreal Girls, but the song is called Dark Poetry. So that is out right now. And then we're working on one at this moment called Masquerade. We're trying to get out right for Halloween. And then just more and more and more stuff coming from ProQuo and XCal and Professor Lyrical. I don't think we got any invasion joints coming anytime soon, but maybe we need to. You know what I'm saying? Got to get it, all the angles working. Let me hit the stop sharing here. And sharing is caring, but you can be caring too much. What else I want to talk about? Yeah, so Coolio passed away, so rest in peace to Coolio. I never mean to be dissensitive with this stuff. I mean, in fact, Masquerade is talking about a song that's shouting out all these people, but like, I'm not one of those people who's going to post a ton on fallen rappers just because they're rappers and stuff. I think a lot of people already do that. I don't necessarily want to, fill the airways more people and make them think I'm going to talk on the subject more. I don't really know anything about Coolio, so therefore I'm not really posting anything on it. Never done a show with him, never met him. So I just kind of, say my respects and move on. But I see people posting like 50 pages and stuff, and I'm like, I get it, bro. But it's like, I didn't know, dude. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's so many other people going to cover that. It's like, it's like, I know, Pat Stay, those kind of things. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I mean, that actually hit me more because I've watched so many of his videos. I'm just like, and dude's immensely talented and a little bit more current. You see the dude battling people and stuff, and you're like, oh man, that's crazy. Dude seemed like a real good dude, but what do I really know? I don't know him like that. So, but to people who do, my condolences, and I totally get it. I'm definitely not trying to be insensitive, just saying that people will sometimes say to me, yo, why didn't you post anything about Coolio? I'm like, I don't know Coolio. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. And honestly, like, his music wasn't a big factor in my personal life. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I know who he is and stuff, but Biz Marquee would have been more of a big thing. But even that, it's like, rest in peace to Biz. I had all his early albums, like, love him. I did meet him a couple times, but it's like, I don't really know, dude. So I'll leave that to people who do, and I'd rather send you in that direction to hear what they have to say. Feel me? You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. What else I got for you? We have been chilling with Introverse. We are doing a lot of shows and proposals and all kinds of stuff coming up for me and my man Bernard. We do a lot of work around people who are like myself, creative extroverts and social introverts. That's kind of Bernard and I's little claim to fame. We got a lot of stuff coming up that we're working on. I did a couple more proposals today that I responded to for having me potentially come to a couple colleges. I honestly don't even remember the name of the colleges. I'm speaking next week for an academic conference on quantum, 2 days actually at the Naval Academy, which is a real dope place to speak. Very cool. Looking forward to that. Shout out to my man Russell Sabalos, who'll be emceeing it. I put in the word for him to MC it. He's definitely the man. Definitely like a mentor to me in all things STEM and science and getting diverse people into that space. And that's so much of what I'm doing right now. I spoke in a class the other day on that to people talking about, talking about my career, right? Like as an artist, and they were like asking about longevity. And I was like, the thing with the longevity is if you're already going to plan to do it for the rest of your life, the rest of it, you see videos on, and I'm so glad I've seen some of these recently. People just being real with it. I've been guilty of saying, yo, follow your passion in the past, right? But every time I say it, I feel dirty. You know what I'm saying? Unless I have time to give the full disclaimer, I'll be like, yo, follow your passion, but think about a way to freak it, right? Like, how are you going to make this work for you? And people will say the same thing. Like, yo, you've been rapping forever. Like, how do you find blah, blah, blah? And it's like, you find motivation easily to do what you're good at. Like, it will become the passion if it isn't already. So if you have some practical trade skill or something like that, and you get good at it and people tell you you're good at it, that's positive reinforcement that will lead to passion. You will start studying more about it. You'll get better at your craft. You'll attend conferences, seminars, whatever. And then you become like an expert on that. And all of a sudden, it's not hard to find passion in something. It's funny how these things didn't start out necessarily as passions and they become that, right? Think about something you like. Was it a passion the first time you did it? You know what I'm saying? It's not a passion. You just turns into that. Passion is not like, I don't think, hiding inside of you. It's something that you find out there and then you bring it in. You know, that's at least how I think about it. People a lot of times will say you'll find your purpose, you know, and it's like, notice it's find your purpose, right? For that, it's find your purpose, like it's out there. But people are like, what's your passion? As if it's this thing inside of you that you just have to explore all the chapters of, like it's hiding in here and you're suddenly going to stumble into it. It's like, no, you're going to stumble into it out there and it will blossom within you after you see it out there and you bring it in. So anything could become your passion. But if you already have one, I think the trick is finding a way to weave it into every free moment of your life, right? Something that you really like. If you can put it in your life, especially in the paying revenue streams of your life, that's where the magic happens. So think about just real carefully. Sometimes we don't block the noise out and think strategically. Just be like, how could I prolong my X career, whatever your career is, right? How could I make it go longer? Finding the revenue source of where it's at and thinking, I mean, there might be like 5 revenue sources and whatever it is that you like to do. Finding the revenue source where, let me move this thing over. Finding the revenue source where you actually have ease of access is what I'm talking about. So I have ease of access in the higher education space. Does it seem like a mistake that my whole entire marketing of what I do is tied to a higher education space? If that's where I have high capital, right? Nah, it's not a mistake. It's a business plan. Think of a name. Think of something that's creative. Think of something that has some double entendre. Put that into your thing. Spin it differently, but have it reflect you. And try to find a way to seamlessly put in that passion, quote unquote, into an area that can make you that stream. That's your personal job. You know what I mean? Like, if you just look in the same posted job place all the time, you're going to find the same old, same old. Sometimes you have to sort of invent that lane. Maybe it's tweaking a cover letter, tweaking a resume, tweaking a PR pitch on what it is that you do to somebody to write an article about you, you know, to position you as somebody who does something else. So a lot of what I have done is position myself in the way that I want to be perceived. And then continue with the way that you speak, the way that you present yourself, the places that you go to, the way that you use your biggest commodity, which is time. How are you aligning all those things? And when you do that stuff, then it's easy to, or easier. It's not easy, but it's easier to extend all that stuff. But you got to think about it in advance. And that would be sort of my biggest advice. And it's really what I was telling the class about the other day in a little bit more entertaining manner. You know, given the anecdotes and the music behind me and stuff like that. So that's what you got to do. No matter what you like, there's probably another thing that you like that if you think about it, there's a line that you can connect from point A to point B. What is your point A? What is your point B? If A is your passion, what is B, your practicality, right? Is there a revenue stream you can tap into? So I'm like, yo, passion for me is hip hop. Revenue stream is college. How can I make them go together? I quickly realized, yo, I got to get the top degree. I got to get a doctorate at some point. So, but I also knew I had to get bachelor's, master's, doctorate, right? And while doing those, what could I simultaneously do to keep up the skills on the music side? And then how do I connect the dots? How do I make those go together? So for me, it's like name, imaging, logo, what the music sounds like, what it's, you know, but still being representative of what it is that I'm true to, making those things work. Like even the name, the ProQuo thing. I mean, that name was so obvious when I said it that we were like, oh, that's 100% the name. I mean, bro, dude's name is Quo. I go on by Pro Lyrical, right? Short for professor, which is marketing what I do. Of course, we're going to call ourselves ProQuo. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a clever spin on something that already exists, and it's part of the whole marketing of professor. What sets me apart? Yo, I'm a professor. I got a doctorate too. I can say doctor, but that, you know, it's been done. Professor's been done, but oh, I get it. Dude calls himself lyrical already. Professor lyrical. Oh, what do you teach? Lyricism? Nah, not usually. Teach math. What? Word? Yeah, I do STEM stuff. Oh, wow, that's cool. Okay. How does that go together? What does that look like? Well, it doesn't always look like anything. It's not always 100% in the music that, you're going to be hearing me rap about STEM or something, unless I'm intentionally doing that. In fact, most of the time, I'm probably not. But use that as an inroad to discuss and get to other topics. So those are the kind of things I think we all got to do. And then it's easier to find those streams. I can't stand when I listen on YouTube live streams like these, and you just hear someone grifting. Grifting, for those of you who don't know the definition, is just someone who's selling you snake oil, right? And it's like, oh, all you got to do is blah, blah, do this. And then they're like promoting their, self-help course or their speaking package or their whatever it is that they're selling. Like, yeah, I'm selling something too. At the end of the day, I'm selling bring me to your college, right? I'll be very straight up on it. I'm like, I'm trying to come to your college. I'm trying to perform and speak. And if I sell some books, great. But I ain't leading with the book. In fact, I don't even tell people half the time I have a book. I'm not trying to sell you my book. I'm trying to say I might have value at your institution. But I never want to be that dude who's like, when you're talking to me, like you're going to feel like I'm trying to sell you in the institution. No, most of the time people ask me. I'm not usually pitching that is like the first thing that I say or anything like that because it's not even on my mind. I'm just thinking of where I can add value. I wouldn't want to go somewhere to be valuable. I play myself out. That's the worst thing you can do. If you ain't ready and prepared and you're trying to promote a false bill of goods and then you get there and it's like you're not really those goods and you can't cash the check and there's no receipts, it's like, that's a good way to go out of the industry. Like you acting like you that dude and there's 3 people there to see you when you're saying you're going to bring 300. You never want to be that dude. I'm straight up. I'll be like, if you bring me to your club, it's probably a bad investment. I'll be like, I'll kill your club. Like I'll do the thing, but there ain't 300 people coming to see me. Like probably anywhere on earth, there's probably not 300 people coming to see me. It's just not what I do. I would like to. It probably should be a personal goal. Like pro needs to have 300 people, no matter where he goes, will show up for him. Nah, I can get you 30. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not going to sell you tickets on the street. Like if I did, I could probably get you 300. If I did a marketing campaign that I'm coming and I needed to, yeah, sure. But you would have to pay for that. You know what I'm saying? And like, we need you to get 500 people in here. Okay, cool. I need 3 months in advance. You know what I'm saying? I need some marketing materials, a little bit of promo budget, and boom, we can make it happen. But I'm not leading with that. I'm like, I'm going to sell you that I'm the credibility to your show. Is there content you need me to deliver? Yeah, I'm the person you want on there. Might not be the headliner at a lot of the shows. I have been a lot of times, but I'm probably going to be that one right underneath or maybe underneath. And damn, I'll be last on it if it's a good enough bill, right? Sometimes we got to humble ourselves for the positions we're trying to play. That can also add longevity, right? Because you do enough of those, all of a sudden you're the A-man over on this college or university that's trying to bring you to speak about how you do all that stuff, right? Or whatever it is, if it's academically or something. And those colleges are paying $3,000, $5,000, $7,000. Man, I had three conversations today. The lowest one was $3,000. And the only reason I said yeah, and it's hypothetical next spring, is because it's a personal friend. So that's to put it in perspective. And I'm telling you, this is as a dude, I can't get 300 people at a club. Someone who can, you could be paying $3,000 for, but you don't need to do that at the college. It's nice if you have some popularity, but what they really care about is credibility. Are you going to be dope? What you say and when you perform. Are students going to be like, yo, bars, or yo, that's a danceable beat, or whatever it is you're trying to sell, right? Are they, if you're coming for lyricism, which I usually am, are people going to be like bars? And if that's check, and if then is there content and messaging that this person's going to say? If that's check, what that leads to is check, usually with 2 more zeros on it than you could ever have at a club. So at least 1 0. Usually it's 1, truthfully, but you can definitely get 2, because I could make the case that a club down the street can't even bring me for $200. They just don't have it like that, unless I can guarantee them, I'm going to bring in people, whatever. But they're not going to be like, yo, we want you to be the second headliner and we just have an extra $200. A lot of times clubs don't have it. It has to be a sure thing. I'm not saying I couldn't get $200. I could, but I'm just saying that's not what my interest or effort is, right? So, but I could get 20 from the right school. That's 2 zeros. And I could certainly get 2,000, right? So that is where longevity comes from. Because if you're getting that kind of check, even not even all that often, if it's 5 times a year, you do that 5 times a year, you're gonna be like, let me polish my game up. Let me get a little nicer equipment. Let me get a nicer press package. Let me get some nicer looking CDs and records. And before you know it, the people that have that kind of material, there's a reason they have that, right? And there's some demand for that, or that will be a demand when that person shows up and kills it, or wherever they're gonna kill it. So that's the longevity part of the game, and I think that's true to anything you do. It's you got to find the markets that work for you. There's streaming, which is loose change really at a smaller level. It's massive change at a bigger level. I mean, you got 1 million streams a month or something like that. I mean, you can definitely be paying the bills, But if you got millions of streams, man, you can be living the life. But you got to have a dense catalog and some major hits in there to have that kind of streams coming. There's plenty of artists out there who've had mega hits in like the 80s and they're just living off streams. $45,000 a month, like $45,000 a month off streams. So I'm not saying there's no money in it, but there's no money for the everyday working artist who does not have a catalog like legends, or was once a legend. If you were once a legend and you're still making music and you're still touring, you're probably living off your stream revenue, truthfully, because your streams are probably in the millions, right? That's a whole different world. But I'm saying if you're the average dude like me, you got a few hundred followers or a few thousand followers on this platform, and maybe it's tens of thousands on certain platforms, right? And then you're on like Spotify and you got, 20 or 2,000 monthly listeners, wherever it vacillates to when you got projects out. That's just like loose spending change. You know what I'm saying? But then there's sync money we've talked about before. That could be big checks, right? Then there's performance fees and speaking fees and merch, right? When you show up, if you have merch that looks good and that you actually kill it, and that and even if you don't kill it, if you're a decent person, right? That's the other thing. Like if it's 2 people on the bill, you and someone else, it's probably gonna be like, who's the cooler person? If this is the merch, right? It looks pretty cool, right? This is just for a school. If this is the merch, it looks pretty cool, and you're cool, and the person next to you isn't, but they were kind of dope, most people are going to probably buy your stuff just to have the conversation with you. They just want to take a little piece of you, be like, I met this person. He seemed pretty dope. Might not have been, a Grammy award winner that night or whatever, but, but if they sense there's talent and you got some cool merch, man, you can do pretty well. You can probably pay your car off of that, if you're doing it consistently. But really, from the bang for my buck is definitely, speaking and performing and then taking attempts at, placements and so forth as they come. And, other things that it spins into. You might land a job, an actual job from that kind of stuff too. And that's another unspoken kind of thing. Like, especially if you do music, is your music in your CV, your curriculum vitae? Is it in your resume? Do you have a resume that speaks to that? Because that could be eyeballs are on you, or that you have a platform. The average person doing whatever you do probably does not. So if you're rapping, are you like not telling that to the job? You know what I'm saying? That could be very valuable. You could be the MC at a certain event. They might need a public relations person, a communication person. The rapper is probably going to be somebody better. So it's those kind of things too that you can flip and parlay too, depending on what kind of jobs you're doing and how you flip it. So a lot of times people think it's just about the actual act of, I'm a rapper and I'm going to rap on that show tonight. So those are a few of the things I wanted to speak about. I was telling some people that I wanted to kick, and sort of a microcosm of some of the things we talk about in classes. I typically talk about pimp college. That's my message. How to pimp college in 3 easy steps, right? 3 things you should be. I always say 3 steps. That's what everyone says. I don't care if it's 7 steps, however many it is. That's how many you're going to have, But pimp college, though, for me, there actually is about 5 things that you can do that you can make. I'll give you one of them right now. You have to join a club. Like, you in college, or you thinking of going to college, or you get kids in college, you have to join a club, especially if you're at a good sized college, because your student activity fees pays for those clubs to be able to, at a minimum, buy you pizza every time you're there, right? And it's valuable when you're in college. Let's face it, free food is actually highly valued in college, right? Free food. Join a club. control the budget. Be a chairperson in that club, right? Be an officer. When they elect an officer, show up. Show up to the first 3 meetings. First 3 meetings, and be like, yo, you are involved. You don't have to show up again, except when you're doing some planning stuff. But first 3 meetings, if it's something like an activities club, campus kind of club, yeah, or anything arts, and you have a budget, and let's say your club has a budget of 20 grand a year, man, you can be controlling that budget. You can spin that off into being a promoter. Trust me. You can, if you got a budget, whether it's your radio station, your school newspaper, or student activities, or something else, some other club, NESB, whatever, right? You control that budget, or be one of the people who controls that budget. You want to be the treasurer. Treasurer is going to have to be a key influencer. You don't need to be the president all the time. You don't need to be a vice president. Secretary and treasurer's got more clout than you think. So secretary, treasurer, people that control the money and control the day-to-day operations, that's usually the secretary as well, right? Those people, they can control who comes to the campus. You'd be like, yo, we got 100 grand in certain clubs. They might have tons of people. Membership is more dollars. That's the simple formula. Membership is more dollars, right? So you got 100 people in your club. Yo, you probably got a big budget. And guess what? There's probably only like 10 active people in that club. You know what I'm saying? There's like 10% of the people will be active in the club. You got 30 people in your club, it's 3 of them doing everything, you know, maybe 20%, right? So 6 of you will go into the conference, free conference. And it could be anything you want. And that could be propelling your work career. You got to pimp college. You get a chance to go to a free conference and stay in a hotel and wine and dine and meet people on the college budget. Do that. Anytime a college professor is saying, hey, I'm looking for people who want to go to a conference. When a professor wants to take students, you want to do that too, because that professor cleared all that paperwork for you on their end to make that happen. And they might have room for students. You want to do that. You know, these are the things, like this is that quote unquote cultural capital kind of stuff that you don't have if you haven't been through that kind of experience. And you can make a career of it. Trust me. So those are some of the things out there. I got to get running. I appreciate some of y'all for hanging. Check out Bars of Death over on Facebook, and shout out to my people, and pick up that Dive In It by ProQuo. Search it, Dive In It, ProQuo, or go to my Instagram, which is Professor Lyrical. Click the Spotify link right there. It'll take you 5 seconds. You go right over there, click it, listen to it. Your boy raps last on the track. Shout out to my man Hendo and my man Quo. And Quo just kills it with the slow flow. Kills it. So shout out, y'all. Peace. And we in here.